Good morning, y'all. It's Happy Friday. Today we are going to paint. Well, Brittany's going to be doing the painting today. We have a pumpkin that she needs to paint, and we thought, why not have y'all come along for the ride while she paints? So I'm going to sign it off to Brittany. She's going to come over here. She's going to be painting this pumpkin. So I'll be on the computer side. Chat along with me. Let me know you're there and say hey to us.
And we can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about.
Keep chatting with us.
Hey y'all. We're gonna make sure everything's. Can you see us?
Yeah, you just keep talking. Brittany's gonna start painting. So y'all let us know you're here.
For those of you that weren't there, I'm gonna do another version of this pumpkin. This is the pumpkin we did for the fundraiser for the food pantry. Last week.
Oh no, last month. That was September 15th. We're now October.
Sometime in my past life we did this painting.
We're now October 4th.
Now. So I'm not sure when it was done, but we did this painting. We had a lot of fun with a bunch of people, and it's a really simple painting. You can do it in the studio. We've got it in paint kit, so
I can drop the link on both YouTube and on Facebook because we are live on both places right now.
But y'all can talk to us on here. Let us know if you got any questions while I'm painting.
And Brittany's gonna be kind of fast at this one.
Yeah, we're gonna see how fast Brittany can do this painting. Okay.
And what I'm gonna do is help push this one into the camera so you can see it.
Now it is gonna look a bit different than that one. It's got some of the same colors, and let's hope Cherie doesn't knock stuff down.
Well, it's a given.
Because it took us a while to get this. Took us a while to get this set up.
Because no matter how many times we do it,
workman's comp.
No matter how many times we do this stuff, every time it's.
And y'all bear with me, my eyes watering today.
You need a tissue?
I got one. So, and I'm being like some of y'all, you're very careful. You gotta stay in the lines. You don't have to stay in the lines. They're just guidelines. I just paint over them.
That's why we Sharpie them.
Yeah, like I can still see roughly where those are. Now, if I put a ton of white paint on here, it is gonna make it where I can't see those lines. But I'm kind of putting a glow like around my pumpkin, so I'm lightening it up. It's a glow pumpkin. Oh man, what if you painted it with a glow worm coming out?
Yeah, we could have so much fun with all this.
We could make it a giant apple, but it's a pumpkin. What if you painted your pumpkin for the season out in front of your house as an apple?
You need to get you some 7 dwarfs.
Or what if you paint it as a pumpkin and have a snake coming out of it instead of a worm? Because that's more Halloween-y. Whatever. So if you get on here live, let us know. I'm going to get some water to help push my paint a little bit further.
Let us know what site you're watching it on, whether that's Facebook or YouTube, and then let us know where you're from.
So we're just getting the whole canvas covered.
I'm going to try to pull it up on both locations.
And when you ever do this painting, you do not have to paint it this fast, okay? This is just me.
Yeah, I told her to finish by noon, and since it took us 25 minutes to get her started, she's going to have a fun time over here.
I like a challenge. So the
only reason we're trying to finish by noon is we open at noon.
I like a challenge, and I don't remember what I was gonna say. So yeah, but right now I'm basically just blocking in the canvas, trying to get as much paint on it as fast as I can to get everything covered in the background, so I can start doing all my fun things. Okay, I was looking to make sure I have a piece of bubble wrap.
Yeah, I get you. Tell me what you need.
There's some right here. So just making sure I did get. We're going to do some palette knife. Going to do some blotting with some paper towels. Might do some splatter paint. Do some dripping. All the little fun techniques. So we're just about done on this background. And you can see, like around the pumpkin, I've lightened it up a good bit. But down here on the bottom, on the floor, where the pumpkin's sitting, I'll leave it kind of dark because there's not as much light under there. And I am going to pick my canvas up in a second and actually paint all the edges, which is something I don't normally do.
Even though we ask you to do it. We teach you to do it.
I always tell everybody to paint the edges, but I usually don't do it myself because I'm usually in a hurry or running around helping. I'm going to carefully pick it up, see how the bottom of that's not painted. I'm just going to throw some paint real quick on there.
And the actual name of this painting is the Blue Harvest. So that's what you'll see in the link, in the comments.
All right. So I'm going to add in a little bit more color. I've got a royal blue here that I want to add a little bit in, just into some of the corners to kind of just darken the edges. I'm going to do that with some techniques too, but I just want to kind of make it look like it's shaded a little bit more around the edges. And since my paint is still wet on the canvas, it's kind of blending.
Forget that side too.
I didn't paint that side? Oh man, y'all. Look at me go. Okay, let me get this side real quick. This is why my sides end up not painted, because I forget, or I leave one side out. And it's usually this side and the bottom. That's okay. We got it now.
That's why I'm on this side.
Yeah, Sheree trying to keep me in line on this. That's not an easy thing, though. Alright, so I'm going to put some blue. But like I was saying, since my canvas is still wet with that first blue on there, it makes mixing this darker blue on there very easy. And you can notice I'm not trying to get rid of brush strokes or anything. I want brush strokes to tell my story of this painting.
That's what's fun about this painting. There's no rules for it. There's just so much flexibility in this painting.
And you'll see in a minute. We're going to get crazy. It's been a while since we've painted this one on a live. So last year we did it as Sheree painted the pink one for the breast cancer. And did I paint the green one?
You painted the green one that day, I think.
All right, so now I've got a little place for my pumpkin to sit. Got some cool textures going on. I'm going to give it just a second to dry some. But it's not that important that it dries with the technique that I'm about to do. I know I went out of stream. I'm coming back, I promise. I had to get a piece of bubble wrap. Alright, so I'm just taking a little piece of bubble wrap. I'm going to take my brush. Oh, thanks. I'm cleaning my brush a bit. I'm going to do some of the darker blue bubbles. And this is just regular bubble wrap. I mean, if you have like I think they make an even smaller bubble wrap than this. If you have that laying around at home, you can use that too. Yo, look at my hand already. It's part of being an artist. But I'm putting dark blue on here. Now you can do it like this, or you can like dab it in there, but it's gonna be messy. I like doing it this way so that I can keep the bubbles a little bit more defined instead of sticking it in a blob of paint. And then I just kind of rub it on there, and voila. I got some bubble wrap texture.
So the closed captioning, and you said it's hard to be an artist? I thought you said arm.
Huh? It's hard to be an arm. I've never been an arm. I have to, but I've never been an arm.
That's what it said.
So whatever the words that it says I'm saying, they might be wrong. Okay? Now some of these bubbles are popped on this one, so I'm getting kind of a weird effect versus how my bubble wrap usually looks on these things. I'm having to press a little bit harder because somebody got bubble happy and popped all the bubbles. But that's okay. But I'm just adding some cool stuff. Some of it's overlapping my pumpkin. Now I'm kind of just getting off most of this blue off of there. Now I'm gonna add some of that lighter blue. I didn't clean my bubble wrap or anything. And I'm gonna, especially where it's lighter, I'm gonna put some of that in there. I don't have much coming off, but a little something. I'm gonna do one more little section down here into this dark blue. Kind of looks, can't see it much, but that's okay. Alright, I am going to clean my brush some. I'm going to dab this off on a paper towel just to get a bunch of the wet off. And I know y'all may not can see that, but I'm just having the paper towel off. The bubble wrap. So now I've cleaned a bunch of that blue out. I'm gonna grab some white because I do want some white on here. It might mix a little bit with the blue. That's okay. It'll be a light blue. This painting is so forgiving. You just gotta keep adding stuff. Ooh, I like the white in there. Now I am gonna put orange in this, but I am not gonna put orange right now because I do not want orange to mix with these blues and make like a weird color that I don't want. So I'm gonna wait for a lot of the blue to dry before I add any orange in there. Alright, so I'm just kind of splotching it around some. It doesn't have to, like the white, I didn't put any down there, that's okay. I might put a little hint of this green. This is a kind of a weird green. It's called eucalyptus green. Doesn't really look like eucalyptus at all to me. To me, eucalyptus is a little bit more blue, but you know, whatever. Whoever's working at this paint place might be colorblind. I don't know. I'm not trying to insult them.
You insulting me?
No.
Okay.
No. Ben, like whoever names these colors.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. Right there, because I kind of want these to represent like some vines and stuff on my pumpkin, so I'm just kind of putting them where the vines might go a little bit. Put some down here like there's some on the ground. I just painted.
Let us know if you're watching.
Alright, so that's about, sorry if this thing is moving. Alright, so that's about all the green I want to put right now. I might put some orange with bubble wrap later. But I'm going to start to do some other textures. Boy, I got dirty fast. Like, this is crazy. Alright, so I'm going to take some of that dark blue. I love palette knife, okay? Palette knife's one of my favorite things. You come and paint with me in here. Absolutely love painting with a palette knife. I kind of like to do like this frame type thing around here. And it's okay if some stuff is wet and it gets smeared. That's okay. The more texture, the better. At least that's how I look at it. And I'm just getting some blue. I'm just dragging along. I'm going to set my canvas on the edge so I can get to this very edge of the painting. Alright, so if anybody jumps on, have you painted anything lately? Or if you're watching this on replay or anything, let us know if you're painting anything recently.
Let us know when you're coming in to see us.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. Our ceramics, don't miss out on them. When's our next?
I'm going to place an order this weekend, so get your pre-orders in.
Yeah, go find.
And you can join us for some of our either during open hours or on October 17th and 19th and 23rd. We have designated time set up just for ceramics.
You'll see where I darkened this earlier with the dark blue. I'm even using my palette knife and putting some more of that down here just to give my pumpkin a place to sit. And I'll add some other colors in there later. Alright. Honestly, you can put this stuff wherever you want. You can scrape it in random places if you just like the texture. I don't put a lot of on my palette knife. I just kind of just get a little bit so that it breaks on the texture of the canvas. Hold on a second. I'm not getting emotional, guys. Just my eye just won't quit watering. Okay.
It makes her so emotional.
Yeah. This painting is so emotional. Alright, so I'm going to go in. I've got enough of that light blue. I'm not going to add any of that light blue. I think I'm going to add some white with the palette knife. Later on, I'm going to add some orange, like I said, but I'm going to wait until it's not going to make some nasty colors.
And that's the nice part with acrylic paint.
It dries fast.
It dries fast, and you can either correct it or add to it.
Yeah, you could. If I didn't like something, I could let it completely dry and then cover it right up. Now, it might take you a couple coats when you're trying to cover up something, because this paint is usually kind of thin. But you'll eventually get it covered up. And I'm just putting in some little, like, but you see how fast, look how busy our background's got just that fast. All right.
This is a painting that warrants a busy background.
Yeah, you like it to be kind of busy. Now I'm gonna take a picture out. I'm gonna ball it up. And everybody probably gets annoyed with me doing this. But I say ball it up as tight as you can, then unball it. And they're like, what? And then I say ball it up again. Okay, this just creates more little crevices in your paper towel, so that you get more unique little shapes. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm just putting some blobs in. Some of this you may not even know where it's at. I didn't do any green with the palette knife. I'm going to do some green with my paper towel. So I just got some little blotches. You just put them wherever. Now, sometimes people say less is more. Not so much on this one. More is more and better, in my opinion. Like, you could do texture on this whole thing and it looks fine. Now, last thing, before I go on to my pumpkin, and I'm going to go back and add the orange and stuff later, but I am going to do some drips, okay? So not many, but a few. I'm going to do some green drips. So what I'm doing is mixing a bunch of water with my green paint on my plate. Get it, as I always tell people, get it nice and juicy. Get some juicy paint. And then I am just going to, I want it right here. I'm going to smack it right there. And I got a drip.
You see it running down the paint canvas?
It's going down. Now I'm going to do another one. It's going to run into my pumpkin. Guess what? It's okay. Doesn't matter. All right, how are we looking on pumpkin?
11:37.
Oh, y'all, I got to paint fast.
You just paint. Now see, sometimes you see that green that went right through the pumpkin? It's changing angles. Sometimes it will do that.
Yeah, it's hitting Sharpie lines or other paint. I'm just doing a few white ones.
If it's running more than you'd like, pick your canvas up
you can
and
pick
tilt
your
it back.
canvas up. Now, one thing that does drive me crazy when I do the whatever we're doing right now, the dripping, I don't like the big blotches at the top, so I just take my paper towel and cover them up and make them kind of go away. And you can just pick whatever color where you don't see that big blob. All right. Now I'm going to start on my pumpkin, and I'm going to be using a fairly big brush because I'm trying to paint fast. So I'm using the same brush that I did my background with. Usually I'd switch to a smaller one, but first things first, I'm going to start out with my darkest blue, and I'm going to kind of get some structure going on all of my little sections of my pumpkin.
And when you buy a kit from us, it does come traced. It's a smaller canvas than what she's doing, but it is traced, just like this one
And
is.
it comes with all these instructions. So I'm just throwing
And the
in
bubble wrap.
sections of blue. Not worried about that green in there. But you got to think about a pumpkin. Where's the darkest color going to be? It's going to be in those little crevices where each little section meets. And so that's where I'm going to focus my darkest colors. And I'm just kind of tracing it. Every now and then I throw some in the middle of those sections. But y'all, it's gonna, our pumpkin's gonna look just as busy too. I'm not worried about the stem right now. We'll get that guy going later. All right, so there I've got, let me put a little bit right here, and I needed to cover up some white. But now I got the structure of my pumpkin, right? Now I'm gonna switch and put just a tiny bit of the blue that I used on my background at the beginning. I tried to close that with the top like this. So yeah, I painted myself some more. That's all that happened. So I am going to switch to a little bit smaller brush on this part because I'm wanting to be a little bit more careful with my paint. So I'm going to about a 1/2 inch. I was using the inch brush. Now I'm going to a 1/2 inch. I'm going to get some of that blue that I started on my background, and I'm going to throw it in some places. Sometimes it'll touch this other blue. Sometimes it won't. That one just mixed with that dark blue because it was still so wet, and that's okay too. You gotta break out of your OCD-ness and go over lines, just kind of mix colors. And you just kind of, whatever you're feeling. If you're not feeling a lot of blue in your pumpkin, you could have put a lot of orange in it. You can do whatever colors you want. Okay? So I am going to start with these pieces in the back and get them pretty covered. Because starting from the back on this pumpkin, that means each section can lay over top of the other. And I don't get as much weird lines and stuff. We got anybody watching? Oh, we got somebody calling.
This one person watch might be me.
All right. So I've got a lot of blue on there, but I know I'm also going to cover up a good bit of this blue with white and some oranges and stuff. So that's why I actually put more on there. Should I hit it with a blow dryer real quick?
You need me to? I'll get it.
Let me just plug it in there. She's going to grab the blow dryer real quick so that I can hurry this up. I could sit here and blow on it, but that's nobody wants to see it. All right, so the orange I'm going to be throwing in a little bit is Canyon Orange. It's looking good so far, y'all. And I might even switch to a smaller.
It'd be noisier.
It's going to be a little noisy, okay? But, you know, y'all know what a blow dryer sounds like, okay? Just turn your volume down for a second. But then turn it up when I start talking again, okay? All right. That was a smart thing to do, y'all. Now I can go on. So I got a fresh plate because it kind of got messy in that. But I'm going to get some white and some orange because I'm going to put some white in my pumpkin now. I'm going to get all this blue out as much as I can. Put some white in here to finish up some areas. Now, after I get the whole pumpkin painted, I will be going back and putting some texture in it with my palette knife, or might even put some bubble wrap areas on it. And I'm also going to go back and outline it some to make everything stand out good. So, just doing this little pumpkin painting today, y'all. Now, I'm going to go back and touch some of this blue that I just messed up because I want that to be dark blue. Alright. And I haven't put any green in my pumpkin. I'm going to leave the green like in the background for the most part. I might put some little hints of it. Alright. I put a little white up in here. Alright. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm just trying to get this pumpkin covered. And you notice I'm keeping all my brush strokes going the same direction, so that it gives that curvy appearance of a pumpkin. If I start going like this, it's not going to look like a smooth, curvy pumpkin. Alright. So I'm going to hit it with the blow dryer real quick. Plug your ears. Now I'm going to add some orange. I'm actually going to pick a smaller brush, put some orange in there. Oh, yeah. Like that orange, y'all. Kind of gives it a cool vibe.
So if we're re-watching this or watching it with us now, what colors would you paint yours?
Oh yeah. Let me hear what colors y'all would paint them. I've seen just about every color you could possibly do with people after painting it so many times last year. And we've painted it for a big fundraiser party this year, but it's going to be coming up more.
Or if you painted in a kit, send us a picture.
Love seeing pictures of people having fun at home with their paint kits. Alright. Just getting some orange in here. I think I'm liking that. Got a nice little orangey pumpkin. Gonna watch, or not orangey, it's blue. Blue and orange. I'm gonna grab a little bit of that green. I said I wasn't gonna put much in it. So I'm just gonna put just some little. And I've killed a lot of my white in this painting. So I am going to put some white, but I am actually going to use my palette knife to put that white back in there. So it's got a bit of a texture. So I'm going to take my palette knife again. And I'm still staying with the same direction. And I'm going to let it break and do some cool things over top all these colors I just put on here. And it also kind of makes it match the background a little bit. It looks kind of rusticy.
How about that?
Rusticy. It's a term.
Rustic.
Okay? Rusticy. Yeah, I got my own lingo, y'all.
So for those of you who haven't heard yet, she's cornbread and I'm crawfish. So
Oh yeah.
we'll be using that more and more. Let us know what you think about that.
Because Cherie's from Louisiana. So
If you didn't know.
me, I'm just from Alabama.
There's no just.
Okay.
There's no just.
Alright, so what y'all thinking? I think that's looking pretty good. Might even put some more. I really like it when it breaks on there and gives these like rough looking places.
That's one of the biggest challenges of a palette knife, but then becomes the most rewarding part of a palette knife.
Yeah, once you figure it out, you're like, oh, I like if you want something to look rustic and weathered, palette knife is your best friend. Like some people are like, you have to dry brush stuff to make it look rustic. No, you don't. You can just hit it with a palette knife. All right. So I'm about to do my stem. I'm gonna wipe that off. My stem, I'm gonna use that little bit smaller brush. I'm gonna do my stem the dark blue, and then I'm gonna go back and put some light blue in it for shading. So I'm just being kind of careful. I can kind of see these Sharpie lines, so I'm kind of going where they're at. But if it goes outside the Sharpie line, it's okay. You know, my stem was healthy, so it just grew a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. The Sharpie lines that are on all our paintings and all our kits, they're just guidelines.
Suggestions.
You do not, like if you get out of them, if you're painting a tree on one of them and your tree grows further than those Sharpie lines, that's okay. Your tree was just healthier than the one I drew on there. It's not a big deal. Okay, got that blue. Gonna hit it with blow dryer. I'm telling y'all, this is a fast, easy painting because look how fast I've done this. Okay? So now, I'm going to pretend like where it comes up right here, I'm going to pretend there's a ridge. I need to use a little bit of white with this blue because that's not showing. Okay? I'm going to go about up to there and then I'm going to go on the other side. I'm leaving like a line in the middle. And I probably should have got a smaller brush for this. I'm going to put some shading on this side. shading on this side. I probably didn't pick the best brush to do this, but I'm gonna work with what I got, because sometimes I just don't like to get another brush. Alright. So now, you see how I've left that line? So now it makes it look like that's like one of those little corners of it. Now up here, I actually am going to take a small brush because I'm not about to try to do that with that one. I've got a little tiny detail brush. And I'm going to give like a swirly kind of thing going up here. And a little bit more detail in this. Alright, so I'm liking that. I think I want to put some smaller little white streaks in some of this. I want the top of my pumpkin to look a lot lighter than the bottom. Wasn't happy with that line, so I had to wipe it off my finger. Feel like I need some orange over here anyways. I'm just gonna put a little orange over that line that I didn't like anyways. There we go. And touch your palette knife. Put some texture on there. Alright, now I think I'm just going to put a little bit of texture to overlap some of my pumpkin. So it kind of like makes it look like the background's kind of like absorbing the pumpkin a little bit. I don't know if that was right, kind of.
I feel you.
So
I know where you're going.
Put some of the texture on top of the pumpkin. Okay, I did a little green first. Don't want much green in this. I'm gonna get me a little bit more blue, dark blue, and I'm gonna make these bubbles. I love the bubble wrap, y'all. It's so much fun. And I'm being kind of a bit reckless with it now compared to earlier. I'm just kind of I'm going ham, y'all. Some bacon. Y'all didn't hear that. Alright, I got some white going on now. Okay. I just like making it look kind of messy. You know what? I'm going to fold this and just dab it in some of this white. Make this bubble wrap about had it. Do another paper towel real quick. Because I still want to put a little bit of orange in my background, and then I'm going to call it finished.
Not till you sign it.
Not, well, okay, you got to sign it first. What's
Paper towel first, just to rough it up a little.
Yeah, but I was going to put some more white over this. And then some orange. We'll get a different part of my paper towel. Alright, some orange. Oh yeah, I like that orange, y'all. Aren't you glad I put orange? No, don't unfollow us, please.
The orange is just helping pop the whole thing out.
Now, I might put a little bit of a red, not red, white splotch on that later. And I'm gonna take my palette knife. And it's crazy how much this orange kind of zings through the rest of the colors.
And if you didn't hear earlier, she's waited on the orange till now.
I didn't like that spot.
See, that's okay. See, she just
I
wipes
just
it.
wiped off some of it so it wasn't so thick. I'm gonna go back
it.
and put some color on it later to break up that big blob of orange.
But she held off on the orange so it didn't blend the greens and blues and become brown.
Yeah, I didn't want like ugly colors.
She wanted the orange to pop.
If you're ever painting and you accidentally get colors that are not very friendly, some colors are friendly to each other, but some of them are not. Next time, wait on your colors to dry a little bit more before you try to go over them with another color or add to it or something. I think it's starts fixing these couple little spots. And this one little line kind of aggravates me, but I'm the one that did it. Tree's probably like, oh, I didn't even see that. But I saw it, y'all. Alright, so wipe my palette knife off, grab a little bit of white to fix that one section. And already this should be almost dry because I knocked a bunch of that off. And look, I just put a little tiny white over it. I'm going to put a little tiny white over that spot that I didn't want that big of an area. I'm going to try to make it not look like a anvil. And one more spot, break up the orange. And I am pretty happy with that, y'all. I am going to sign it, but not right now because it's still very wet. So I'm going to let it dry completely before I sign it. But that is my pumpkin in a very short time. So thank y'all for watching. Sheree, you got anything else?
No, thank y'all for joining us today. If you watch on replay, just let us know. Follow us along. Bye, y'all. Have a wonderful day. Paint and be happy. Bye, y'all.